In today's training, I'm going to teach you how you can use Quik to autofill forms. To do this, once you log in on your dashboard, you can click either the Search Forms or Form Bundles button to get where you need to be. Once there, the first thing I want to draw your attention to is our timeline. This is kind of like our timeline to show our three-step process. The first step in Quik is to choose our forms, the second step is to add people, and the third step is to finalize our paperwork before we can export as a PDF. In the first step for Choose Forms, we can see 4 different tabs. The first tab is a generic All tab. This is going to allow us to see all companies that we can find within Quik, and we can also use the stars next to these companies to favorite them to bring them to the top of our list. Once you select a company that you want to find paperwork for, we can then use the Form Search button to find the specific paperwork piece that we need. The paperwork items will be labeled based on how they were labeled with the company, so that might affect how you search for the forms and what words you use. You can use basic language when searching. You can also use a state specification. You'll notice that every form has an ID and a lit number, and those can be used to specify the form you want if you have those phone numbers from the vendors or if you use the ones provided through Quik. Otherwise, what else I want to bring your attention to is our search criteria. Anytime you specify something here on the left, it'll show you your criteria on the right. If you ever need to clear out your criteria to start fresh, you can click the X's or you can click Clear All. The Followed Companies tab is going to show you any companies you specifically have starred. So back over here on the All where you can see everybody, once you star somebody, if you go to Followed Companies, it's going to show up in your company's list. This is a quicker way for you to specifically find the forms you need. So if you use the same 3 companies all the time, I'd recommend going directly to the Followed Companies tab to then compile your forms. Same thing for the companies, form search, and the other types of form searches down here below. The Favorites tab is going to show you specifically the forms that you have favorited. As you can see, each form that is listed also has a heart that allows us to select or deselect it as a favorite. If you go here, it's going to pull up all those favorites, and you can then search within those favorites with the form search. You can search that as well through the state, form, lit number, or form ID. The final one are form bundles. I will show you how to make form bundles in a separate video, but this is where you can access those from the get-go. But just to show you how to generically put something together, I want to start in the All button, and I'm going to just put a very basic American Funds application together. Now bear in mind, I am not an application expert like many of you, so I might have some of the wrong forms, so don't worry if you're yelling at me through the screen, but this is just to show you how to put everything together. I'm going to just put American Funds right here in my company spot, and I want to first find an application. I think today I'm feeling an individual account, so once I type in application, I want to search for the specific app I will need. And this might take a second just to figure out based on searching through, but once you find it, I'm going to favorite it so I can find it in the future, and I'm going to select it. When you select a form, it's going to put it in your shopping bag. And this is where you can then manage the forms that you are planning to fill out for your clients. So we can see I have just added my application. So now I want to add my transfer form. I can do so by typing in transfer, and now it's going to search for transfer forms, and I can see already I have one favorited, so I know that this is the one I want. I'm going to select that. And now, just to be safe, I'm going to go ahead and grab a Harbor liquidation form. So I'm going to clear all of my search criteria, and I want to go now and click Harbor Investments, and I want to search for liquidation. We can see that Harbor's liquidation form pops right up. I'm going to favorite it for later and press select. So now we can see that my shopping bag has increased to 3, and I can see each paperwork item that I have selected. These dots on the left allow you to rearrange the items as needed, so if you want to move things around, you're absolutely more than welcome to. So I'm going to put this in the right order since Harbor paperwork goes at the end. And just to show you some buttons you've been seeing here as we've been talking, in your shopping bag, Clear will clear out the shopping bag for you to start brand new. Preview will allow you to preview the forms that you're putting together if you need to confirm that the actual forms selected are the correct ones. Add forms allows you to just add more forms to your bag. And the last 2 buttons are step 2 and step 3 of our timeline that we see here at the top. So I'll walk through those naturally. But otherwise, the only other buttons I want to show you is here directly within your paperwork selection spot. So if I get rid of liquidation just to show you all forms again, all of these forms have these 3 buttons. As we know, the heart allows you to favorite things. The I allows you to see the paperwork that you're referencing. So if you just want to confirm what you're seeing is the right form, you can do that. Clicking this paperwork icon will allow you to add that form to a form bundle. But now that I have all 3 forms that I need in my cart, I'm going to go ahead and add the people. So once I get here, I can see step 1 is to choose a CRM. Since I had a default CRM already selected, now I need to actually fill out the information of who is going to be on this paperwork. First step is figuring out who my financial professional is going to be. So I want to go ahead and select my professional. Then I need to select the number I need to use for my paperwork. So now my advisor, Mike DeLolio, and his rep code will be on the paperwork in all the appropriate spots required. Now I need to add my owner, so who is actually going to be signing this paperwork. I'm going to go ahead and add my client, Pebbles Davison. Once you click their name, it then allows you to fill them out for those specific roles on the form. So technically I could put Pebbles in all of these spots, but for today's purpose, I really only need him as the owner. It's an individual account. But say this was a joint account, you can search for as many people as you need to then attach them to the required spots. So I could technically add Teddy Davison as an owner of a joint account if I wanted to. But just for you to see, this is how you add multiple people to an application you're trying to fill out or whatever. It's as simple as finding them, clicking their name, and then adding them in the spots you need them. As far as we're concerned, we're good to go. We can see Mike as our professional. We can see Pebbles as our account owner. So he's the client that's going to have all of his information filled out. So now the last step is to finalize this. So once I click finalize, I'm going to see a bunch of different things. DocuSign is an option through Quik. We are not going to train on that yet, as we want you guys to still utilize DocuSign as you normally do with using PDFs and uploading through DocuSign. So you can leave this part alone. But the biggest things I want you to see are the selected forms. This is just for you to confirm these are all the forms that are going to autofill and populate, and then also your contacts, so who's going to be filled out on those forms, so we can see our advisor and our client. The last step is to then launch our forms. Once you get to this page, you're going to see all the forms that you have for your client, and it's going to show you all the information it autofilled. So we can see all of Pebbles' data inputted into the form as needed. I can click on any check boxes that I need for this account, and if I scroll through down to the financial professional information, my rep's information is going to be there as well. And then just to show you for like specifically Harbor forms, we can see the Harbor rep code went specifically on the paperwork as needed, and it put my client's name in here as well. And just a reminder that any fields on any of the forms you populate will have autofillable features, so you can then fill those out here too. The 4 buttons you see up here are pretty straightforward. The clear one will basically clear any information that you see on your form. So if I click clear, it's going to clear everything out. But if I click reset, it's going to reset it right back. If I want to save it so that I can then save my document to come back later, I could do so, name it what I need to, and then press save, and it would put it in my saved forms on my dashboard. And then finally, what you guys really want to know is how to export this as a PDF so you guys can then have your client sign it. That will be through this print button right here. Once you click print, it's going to put it directly onto your computer as a PDF document for your use and distribution. If you guys have any questions on this form completion process, please don't hesitate to reach out to Ava, Robbie, or Mike, and you can utilize the atlas@HarborINV or the technology@harborinv.com emails.